G'day everyone, the Global Surveyor, and I'm out here at a place called Angus today. That's New South Wales, Australia, sort of out near Riverstone, Sydney's northwest, and it's a subdivision that was created back in the 1800s, and a lot of the blocks are very narrow and very long, kind of like what you find in the city. Unfortunately, and probably a good thing, they didn't develop this area like the city. There's a few properties, blocks of land for sale, and generally what happens out here is people buy more than one block. As we're going live, I'll show you a plan of the site, and for anyone who comes on later, or you might like to watch it later, this is what it's all about. So you can see this really old survey plan, and it's called Clive Estate, Riverstone, Parish of St Matthew, part of a 140-acre grant to the Reverend Samuel Marsden on the 19th of October 1831. It's quite a long time ago, and whilst these blocks may have been pegged many years ago, they're not. There's no evidence of any pegs, and my job today is pegging lots 56, 57, 200 and 201. So that's what I'm doing, and whilst we wait for people to come in, I might go for a bit of a walk along the boundary line, which is the purpose of today's video, just to show you the pegs I've placed. And because this site is so old, without doing a lot of survey work, it's going to be very hard to nail these boundaries to the millimetre, and some disclaimer would have to be placed upon the plan to advise the client that construction close to a boundary line or further development may require further survey work. So here we have lot 56. I haven't put a nail in there, I've just put a peg in, and that's for the purpose of showing the client what I've done. Just going to go for a walk now along the boundary line, and a little bit easier to see. It's actually late in the afternoon, so it's starting to get a little dark. So I put this red and white tape on the boundary line, and that's to help the client find their way through. And these blocks are very narrow and quite long, so they're not really practical for one block of land. It's not a very practical size for doing anything really. And what you'll find, there's a lot of the people, they buy blocks of land out here for the purpose of land banking, and for the purpose of hoping that one of the large development companies like Landcom, or one of these big companies, come in and buy it all up and turn this whole area into something that's a little bit more like what we have today. So just going to keep walking along this boundary. You can see the red and white tape I've placed here. Got to be careful walking around here too. So we're just walking along this boundary now. You can still see the red and white tape, which makes it quite easy to see. Again, there's some red and white tape in the distance. Not all that easy to see actually at this time of day. So we've got a corner of a block of land here, lot 201, and you can see this just out here is a road. The road's unformed, and back in the 1880s there was never any road here. Although you can see some of the road down there where the road ends, but as I'm standing right here, this is a road. I'll just go back over to this peg. When I put this corner in, I found the remains of a peg, which is promising, with a nail. It wasn't sitting too far away from where I've got my peg. However, I don't think anyone, like I said at the start, and if you miss that, you can always watch it on replay, that I don't think, without doing a lot of survey work, it will be impossible to mark these corners with 100% certainty. So try to advise the clients not to do any sort of construction, and if they were, to ensure that it is more than the bare minimum distance off the boundaries. Here we have lot 200, and like I said earlier, I don't think the local council, I think that's Blacktown Council, will permit any new structures to be built out here, because it's not in the blocks. The configuration of the blocks here is not sort of consistent with the future plans for this area, where I'm sure eventually all these blocks will be amalgamated and turned into blocks that are a bit more manageable, rather than being skinny blocks. And we can go back to that old plan that I got out here. And this is the old plan from Riverston, Clive Estate, Parish of St Matthew, Riverston, and it was granted to Reverend Samuel Marsden in 1831. So you can see all these blocks, they're quite skinny, and they're not really a practical size for anything. So for those who may have just joined the live stream, I'm out here at a place called Angus, and this is our Clive Estate, Riverston, Parish of St Matthew, part of a 140-acre grant to Reverend Samuel Marsden in 1831. So all these blocks here, very narrow, 25 feet wide and about 128 feet deep. So they're not very, I think the idea may have been that they thought this area may have turned into something like in Sydney, you know, where all the party wall buildings you see in Paddington and Darlinghurst and places like that. So that was probably the vision for something like that back then. However, didn't actually turn out that way, and nothing ever happened since 1831. So you know, over 100 years. So 1831, 1931, that's 100 years. It's a long time ago. And as you can see, none of it's developed. It's all paperbark forest, which is pretty groovy. I'll just come over here. You can see some pink ribbon someone's placed on the tree here. Not really sure what the significance of this ribbon is. Can't see any stakes. Maybe someone... There's been a few people that have come through here doing boundary marking exercises, and like I said before, it's not all that easy to define the property boundaries to the millimetre. What you have to do is walk up and down the road, both sides, measuring to fence occupations. There's many old fence posts and colour-bond fence and chain wire fence, anything you can find that's built here now, and sort of put it all on a piece of paper and sort of try and figure out where you are and whether there's any excess or shortage, or can you give the client what they're entitled to. And in this case there was a bit of excess, so I've marked the boundaries with the original distances, and I think the client is just going to put up a fence and maybe just stop people from dumping rubbish, which is generally the idea with these blocks. A lot of people just come in, they don't own the block, they'll just come in and dump their rubbish. Here's another corner here of mine, which you can see there, bits of old pipe, and there's lots of junk lying around the place. So Bobo. Hi Bobo, yep, I'm just out here at a place called Angus in New South Wales, Australia, and I've just finished doing a boundary marking exercise. I've just been showing everyone the marks that I placed. Thanks for your comment. If you've just joined the live stream, thanks, and just make sure that if you've missed anything, make sure you just go back and watch from the start, and subscribe to the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. What's my job? I'm a land surveyor, registered land surveyor in Sydney, Australia, and I'm out here marking property boundaries. And I was just showing people here, I'll just go back to this peg as an example. There's a survey peg there that I've placed for a property boundary, just so people can figure out their boundary lines. And you can see I've just tied a bit of pink, red and white ribbon, which I said earlier is not all that easy to see now because it's starting to get dark. It's nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, and this will just help the owner when they come out here, or send a fencer to fence off the property. Okay, so as you can see, there's people dump a lot of junk here because it's not their land. They just come out here in the middle of the night, unfortunately, and dump stuff, which is a bit of a pain. Rubbish here. So I've just, purpose of the live stream was to just show you what I'm up to, and I haven't been doing many live streams yet, but I'd like to do more, so make sure that you hit the notification button and subscribe so you know when I do come on. There's another boundary peg there, and I can show you those We are at the corner of lots 56 and 201, so we're just about there. And I've marked lots 56, 57, 200 and 201 in this really old plan from 1831, and that's a stake. And I've just put a stake in midway because I didn't actually, well, again, like I said, it's not easy to define these blocks of land to the nearest millimetre, and eventually one day a developer will come in here and develop the whole lot, bulldoze it all. Well, that's quite a lot of trees that maybe the ecologist might not like, but the idea would be that this whole area will be cleared and turned into regular shaped building blocks, because at the moment they're too narrow. So it's nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in Sydney, Australia, and one person asked me before about walking around in the scrub here, and am I sort of worried about snakes and spiders and various things like that? And it's quite possible that there are snakes here. Although a lot of the time when I'm walking around, I've got these cool chunky boots. I've got these Scarpa, really thick leather Scarpa hiking boots, and they protect me pretty well. And long pants and long shirt. So I just tend to not worry about snakes and other animals. You see some people are doing some clearing here. This is some more blocks of land here. Yeah, you've got to be careful out in the scrub. Here's another peg someone's put in. There's a star picket down there. So I'd imagine there's something down this way. See some pink ribbon here, so that's probably what that pink ribbon was from before. Yep. More pink ribbon over there. Yep. So this, as I said earlier, is a road, an unformed road. So it's not likely that it will ever be formed. You can see some existing homes there, and they've sort of been allowed to be constructed. But I don't think there'll be any chance that any new development out here will be allowed. just going to head back towards the car and been pretty cruisy, just walking around, just checking out all the survey pegs and just making sure that there's no errors here. Someone's done some more work there. See these bike paths here. People just come through here with their motorbikes, and I think that's one of the reasons why the owner would like to fence off this property. So thanks, Boba. I was just, the purpose of the live stream was just to sort of show everyone what I was up to, but I'm not really looking for anything anymore at this point. I'm just sort of walking back towards the property that I've been working on, and I was just initially walking over the marks that I've placed and then just making sure that there wasn't anything new that I hadn't seen, because if there is, I should pick it up with my GPS receiver just out of interest. But I think the job's pretty much done for me here. I don't think I need to do anything more. If you're watching for the first time, I'm the global surveyor from Sydney, Australia, a land surveyor, and a lot of the time I get to come out into the bush and mark property boundaries. See, this land's been cleared here, almost as if someone knows that they own this part of the land here. Sort of been maintained, which is not a bad thing. It's no evidence of any new pegs, so that's cool. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm going to head back now. Head back to the car. If you'd like to follow the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I've got a little bit of time up my sleeve here, so I'm quite happy to hang about if a few more people come in. Otherwise, I'll if you're just joining, g'day. There's lot 56. You can see here some homes where they've built homes on probably 5 or 6 or 7 blocks of land, where they own more than one, whereas this client here only owns 2 parcels of land. But if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from, and that would be nice to know. If anyone's watching from Australia, g'day. If you're not, where are you watching from? Well, that's very good. I think today's job, Uzbekistan. Wow, Bob, that's a long way away. Thanks very much for tuning in. That's greatly appreciated. Well, this is Australia, and probably a lot different to Uzbekistan. And just for Bobo, these trees here are called paperbark because it's like paper. So okay, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate everyone tuning in, saying good day, and I'm going to hang up now. And we'll see you on the next live stream. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.